Distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and above all, the man of the hour, Mr. Ikram Sehgal. A book launch is usually about a book. But when the author is Ikram Sehgal, the launch becomes something much more. It becomes a celebration of a life lived in full service to an idea. And that idea is Pakistan. Before I come to the substance of this book, it is only befitting to understand the spirit that led to this labor of love, something that the speakers before me, Madam Huma, has also pointed out. The man himself, Ikram Sehgal, is in the truest sense a son of Pakistan. And I mean that quite literally. Born of a Bengali mother and a Punjabi father, he carries within him the founding promise of this nation, that Pakistan was never meant to be a country of one region, one language, or one people, but a federation of shared purposes. His very lineage is a reminder of what we were meant to be, something that Air Marshal Masood has also pointed towards, and what we must never forget that we can still become. He began his journey in uniform as a military aviator and a soldier, and that association with the Pakistan Army has never left him. He does not wear the khaki anymore, but you can never take the forge out of him. From the cockpit, he moved into the world of enterprise, and there too he excelled. Today he heads the Pathfinder Group, a name that is itself a metaphor for the man. A pathfinder is the one who goes ahead, who charts the route for others to follow. His group works across security, fintech, innovation, entrepreneurship, education, corporate social responsibility aspects, and leadership. Precisely the domains that will define whether nations thrive or fall behind in the 21st century. Consider his intellectual contribution as a citizen of Pakistan. As owner-in-chief editor of the Defense Journal, he has for decades provided this country a platform for strategic thought. Many novices, such as myself, earned their first recognition through the Defense Journal, often when serious thought is the first casualty of noise. He has already authored 17 books earlier. We are talking about these 15, the naughty 16, and the other 2 that have been published by the Oxford University. His writing appears across our print and electronic media with consistency that speaks not of vanity, but of conviction. Here is a man who genuinely believes that ideas matter, and that a nation that stops thinking about itself will soon be thought about by others. And then there is Davos. For 23 consecutive years, Ikram Sehgal has hosted the Pakistan Pavilion at the World Economic Forum. 23 years. In a world that too often reduces Pakistan to a headline of crisis. He has quietly and persistently offered a different narrative, a stage where our political and military leadership and our finest citizens from the corporate world could speak to the globe in their homegrown Pakistani voice. That is not merely networking. That is a national service conducted on the global stage at Ikram Sehgal's own initiative, year after year after year. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a man who did not wait to be asked to serve his country. He simply did. Now the book. Let me now come to the National Security Strategy 2002-2026, a personal chronicle of Pakistan, his 16th in this series. The subtitles are important. Note that it says it is a personal chronicle. This is not a dry academic treatise handed down from an ivory tower. It is a chronicle, the witnessing by a man who did not merely observe Pakistan's journey across quarter of a century, but lived it, engaged with it, and in his own way helped shape it. What makes this book significant, and what I hope every reader will grasp, is its central and correct premise that national security is not a military matter alone. What makes, for too long, In too many places, national security has been imagined narrowly as a question of borders, weapons, and armies. Ikram Sehgal widens the scope, perhaps because he has seen it from different angles, from the cockpit, from the boardroom, from the editorial desk, as an educational patron, and from the world stage. Therefore, his book treats national security as it truly is, a fabric woven from many threads. One thread, foreign policy, how we position ourselves in a world of shifting powers. Another, the economy and finance, because no nation is secure if it is not solvent. A weak economy is weak defense. Education, because the ultimate security of a nation lies in the minds of its young people. Defense, the traditional pillar, treated here with the authority of a man who wore the uniform. More critically, this book does not stop at yesterday's concerns. It reaches forward to the challenges that will define our tomorrow. Emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, cyber capability, quantum mechanics, the digital battle space, climate change. Perhaps the single greatest long-term threat to a nation whose water, agriculture, and coastlines all stand vulnerable. Therefore, he blends traditional and non-traditional security into this fabric of nation building. This is the vision of security we urgently need, a comprehensive and an integrated vision, a vision that understands that a child denied education, a hungry mouth, a flooded belly, a hollowed-out economy, and a cyber attack are all in their own ways national security threats. Why this book matters for Pakistan's future? Why this matters? Not just as a document of the past, but as a compass for the future. Every serious nation possesses a national security doctrine, a shared understanding of who it is, what threatens it, and how it intends to secure its future. It is one of the enduring challenges of our national life that such thinking has too often lived in fragments, in individual ministries, in separate silos, in the heads of individuals rather than a coherent national conversation. What Sehgal Sahab has done with this book is to offer us a starting point for that conversation. He has given us a chronicle that connects the dots, that shows how foreign policy, economy, education, defense, food, technology, and climate are not separate files, but a single interlocking whole. For our young people, and especially for the students, the scholars, and the future policy makers in this room and beyond, this book is a gift. It offers them the accumulated judgment of a man who has spent a lifetime thinking about Pakistan so that they need not start from zero. It says to them, here is what I have seen, here is what I have learned. Now carry it forward and do better. That ultimately is the mark of true patriotism, not the desire to be remembered, but the desire to be useful to those who come after. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, we speak today of a man who leaves footprints in history. Ikram Sehgal is such a person. The aviator who became an author, the businessman who became a bridge to the world, the soldier whose name still lives in the ranks of his old unit. Ikram Sehgal Sahab, this book is your labor of love, and it shows. You have given Pakistan yet another gift. Thank you for that. Perhaps your most enduring one. May it be widely read, deeply debated, and faithfully acted upon. I would be remiss if I do not acknowledge the illustrious team, indeed the clan members of Pathfinders and beyond, whose invaluable contributions have been recognized in this volume. To Ikram Sehgal Sahab and his team, I offer my warmest congratulations on this book and on a life that has genuinely mattered to this country. May Pakistan be blessed with more citizens who love it as he does. Pakistan Zindabad. Thank you.